Hello facilitators. In this video, I'm going to be talking with you about what communities of practice are, why you should join them, and I'm going to go through a list of about 15 communities of practice that I've been able to find that you can join today. So a community of practice goes by a lot of different names, and in my blog post that I write about this, I talk about it like a guild. So I don't know if you've heard of the term guild. It's a medieval term, but it's basically like back in the day was this idea that there's a group of merchants or artisans who watch over the practice of their craft, how they do their craft and how they trade it. So nowadays, guilds are called communities of practice. That's one kind of way to describe them. They're also called like labs and dojos and cafes and all these other names to describe the idea of a group coming together to basically learn more about their own professional craft and skill building. So joining a community of practice is a super powerful and effective way to advance your career. And the reason why is because it's really a safe place to meet with other people in your field, in the facilitation field, and to network with them, to form even collaborations, like find co-facilitators, find people who have gigs and jobs and who need help with that or have volunteer opportunities. And it's also a way to skill build, because oftentimes you are practicing a new technique or talking through a problem that you're struggling with within your facilitation practice or with a client and getting advice from other people on how to change that. So communities of practice are really the name of the game, and some people even say that this 2020 decade is going to be like a huge renaissance of communities of practice, where people are really coming together, professionals are coming together to learn, to work, and to grow together, and to really be able to leverage their collective power to gain access to resources and opportunities that advance their career. And that's what I'm all about. That's what Facilitation Jobs is all about. So other things that I'll say about communities of practice, if I were to give it like a very specific definition, it's a group of people with a common identity and purpose who meet regularly to engage in reflection, inquiry, practice, obviously, experimentation, and reflection around their domain of professionalism, around facilitation, with the goal of increasing their collective intelligence, collective capacity, and advancing the domain in itself, the field itself. So that's what a community of practice is. It's very kind of multidisciplinary and has so much opportunity for creative, experimental, and really cutting-edge pioneering ideas, being a space for those to grow and thrive. And another thing I want to share before I go into a list of the communities of practice that I've been able to find for this upcoming 2022 year, I want to say that associations, professional associations, you could say are communities of practice, right? So we have the International Association of Facilitators, there's the Association of Professional Dialogue Practitioners. There's a lot of different associations that are facilitation, that are at the intersections of facilitation and whatever domain or whatever focus they're centering. And so I'd say that associations are really similar, if not sometimes they are a community of practice, but not always, because you can have an association that isn't meeting regularly, that isn't promoting, skill building and networking. Now they often do, but I don't want to make a generalization. And, another thing about professional associations is that they tend to cost a little more, a few $100 a year to join, while there's plenty of communities of practice out there that do not cost that much. So in this video, I'm going to share with you kind of the hidden gems that I've been able to find. These are communities that are based in the USA, America time zones, and also international time zones. Okay, have fun exploring. Okay, and let's just go down the list so you can start to get to know what's out there. So my company, Facilitation Jobs, plans to host a community of practice, but we're still deciding when we're going to do that. So make sure to join our newsletter to get updates about that. But when we do, it's going to be focused on professional development and being a place for facilitators to gather to share jobs, gigs, apprentice, volunteer, and training opportunities and connect people to do those opportunities together. The second facilitation community of practice is voltage control. Let's go to this page. Voltage Control is a company based in Texas in the USA, and their community is called Facilitation Lab. It happens once a week, it's free, and they're focused on general group facilitation techniques. Okay, now we'll go to the National Coalition for Dialogue and Deliberation, also known as the NCDD. It identifies as a community of practice, and they have different types of ongoing events and large conferences that they hold each year. And to become a member, it's anywhere from $30 to $75 a year, and they're focused on dialogue and deliberation facilitation. Now we have Authentic Revolution. Their community of practice is called Connect Online Community. Authentic Revolution is promoting a form of facilitation called transformation facilitation. If you want to know what that means, I invite you to download my free ebook, Become a Facilitative Leader, which you can find on the company's website, which explains the 6 types of facilitative leaderships, and transformation facilitation is one of them. Now, Authentic Revolution is educating and giving trainings on authentic relating, which is an approach of transformative facilitation. So they have a community that they meet weekly, and they do various events, and you get to practice their authentic relating and experience their approach, and it's about $40 a month. Braver Angels is an organization that's focused on depolarization within the political realm. It's about $12 sliding scale plus, whatever you are able to donate that's $12 or more a year. And they hold various different types of events like debates, alliances, workshops, and you can participate as a participant, or you can step into leadership and actually practice different forms of facilitation, particularly conflict and deliberative facilitation, where you're doing things like debates, holding dialogue, and trying to understand cross-political ideologies. We have the Strazi Institute, and their community of practice is called a community dojo. Now, Strazi Institute is promoting transformation facilitation, and the particular approach is called somatics. Somatics process is where facilitators help participants connect to their bodies and their breath and many other forms of therapeutic embodiment practices. So this is a monthly session, 1-hour session. It's free, and you get to experience what somatics is all about. Now we have the Technology of Participation, also known as TOP. This is a network that you pay about $100 a year to join, and they have various events and conferences and kind of festivals, you could say, where you get to learn about the different models that Technology of Participation has created. And they really focus on a lot of diverse forms of facilitation, just kind of general group process facilitation, but also strategic planning and decision making. So it's really an array of skills that you can learn by joining TOP. We have the Institute for the Study of Conflict Transformation. So obviously this organization is focused on conflict facilitation, and they hold mediation practice groups. So I'd say this is a form of a community of practice. And it's nice to see the conflict world creating communities like this. And I'd love to learn more about communities of practice within the conflict facilitation world. So if you know of any, let me know. The art of hosting. The art of hosting is doing these community calls. That's their form of like consistent gathering to practice the art of hosting approach. The art of hosting approach is a combination of, I think, like 5 to 6 very popular facilitation approaches, including Theory U, deliberative democracy, oh God, like there's so many. Go to their website, you're going to learn all about it. It's like Open Space Technology World Cafe. They are looking at the best of the best models that have been created over the past 30 years and creating trainings that interweave them so you can learn how to do the art of hosting. Unfortunately, this is not loading, but I encourage you to check out the art of hosting. Now we'll look at international time zones. These are communities mainly in Central European time. The Facilitators Community of Practice, their community is called the Facilitators Cafe. That's their event title. They're free. I think they meet about, once a week or once a month? I'm not sure. And oh, look, it says it's weekly. And my sense is that it's pretty broad form, like you're focusing on general group facilitation and all of the approaches that are involved in that. Okay, we're almost there. Let's go to Never Been Done. Never Been Done is a relatively new, a lot of these are new. I'll just be honest with you. A lot of these communities of practice are new because communities of practice have been gaining a lot of popularity over the past few years, especially during the pandemic, because we all needed to start meeting remotely, right? So Never Done Before is a community of practice that I think it cost anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000 for the year. And then they have weekly and monthly training sessions and a festival conference where you get to learn about all these different facilitation modalities and approaches. So it's very diverse, a lot of opportunity for skill building. And again, it's not loading, and I'm so sorry and confused about that, but that happens. Okay, the art of hosting again. So the art of hosting has both international and American time zones opportunities. So anyone in the world can join. We have One World in Dialogue is the organizational name, and their community of practice is called the Emergent Dialogue Lab. So it costs about $23 per session. And in the session, you get to experience the amazing collective intelligence building experience of dialogue. And dialogue. And so, yeah, this is an international community. And I know that there's national communities as well. So here we have, it's a monthly practice for dialogue and emergence. You can join there every third Saturday, every month. And the last one, the School of Facilitation, their community of practice events are called Community Pods. It is a free event, and I'm unsure of how often it happens. But it's a 1-hour Zoom session based on 4 themes. Register for the next pod. You it looks pretty diverse, right? You get to learn about yourself as a facilitator, who your clients or learners are, and how to be a professional facilitator. So pretty awesome. I hope this was helpful for you, and I hope you find the right community for you.